I think that's an excuse for people to be assholes, to be honest with you. The whole like, oh, drink. I'm not myself when I'm drinking. You are yourself. You are yourself. Drink doesn't change you. It just makes you a bigger asshole than you already were. A braver asshole. What the term is sober curious. I drink heavily random. Completely random or special events and we go months without a drop yet. I'm the same. I'm the same as well, Jack. Sure, you've seen that. Drink makes your emotions go 10x whatever you're feeling or much more. Yeah, but I'm just saying it doesn't make you a completely different person. Like, it's not like Jekyll and Hyde or like, you know what I mean? It doesn't make you a different person, as you said. It multiplies your emotions, but it's just making you say what you feel more, like, you know. As I said, if you're an asshole when you're drunk, you're probably an asshole just in hiding. You know? Where were you when you had your first overconfident fart? I don't know. That probably makes you sleep. But farting getting sick shouldn't hammer. Cheers, chat. When I'm drunk. Yeah, see what I mean, Rachel? It doesn't change you into an asshole, right? Because you're a nice person when you're not drunk as well. That's what I'm saying, like. People's behaviour when drunk reflects their true person. Yeah, exactly, Smith. So, I mean, it doesn't completely change you. It just makes you more willing to be. Your thoughts are more. Your intrusive thoughts are more open, like. Usually a happy drunk too, but find insulting people funny, so sometimes do that, but it's meant in jest. You see, that's the problem with Twitch chat and just like text in general, is there's no tone to text, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean? So if I heard you saying that in your actual voice, I'd know like it's a joke. You write that in text, it's not the same thing, you know? It's down to whatever way they want to take it then at that point. Some people I know, barring my cousin's dad's an alcoholic, did some fucked up shit. Some of my family members was okay when he didn't drink. Once he drank, different fucking disgusting creep. No, like, that's what I'm saying though, Princess. That guy is a creep, he's just not as brave to do it without the drink. That's what it is, like. Like, I've been drunk fucking hundreds of times in my life when I was younger. And it never made me do something that I wouldn't do otherwise. You know what I mean? Yeah, you can't. I always say you can't tell sarcasm or anything from text, like, you know what I mean? There's no tone to text, like. No, it is true, Princess. I'm telling you, I've been around fucking hundreds and hundreds of drunk people over my life. And I know what you're saying, but that is an excuse, I'm telling you. That is an excuse for people. Yeah, the true you, that's like them people that do that kind of shit when they're drunk are thinking it when they're not drunk. And they just won't act on it. That's the difference, like. You know what I mean? Drinking doesn't make you a dickhead, like, or a fucking a degenerate. People that are degenerate that drink just makes them fucking more likely to do degenerate shit, like. Yeah, I'm very sarcastic. I have to tone it down, Bob. Like, you know what I mean? I have to tone down the sarcasm a lot on chat. Like, I'm way more sarcastic to my friends than I am to people on here, because it comes across as meanness to people that don't know it, like, you know what I mean? people that don't get it, like, it comes across as mean, like. It is funny, like, it is funny, but, like, you know, the people that don't get it, it comes across as mean. Like, I've had people hang around with us that have been from different countries, and, like, me and me mates be only, like, talking back and forth, and they were, like, I've had people from different countries turn around and say, were you gonna fight that guy earlier and stuff, and I was like, no, we were just talking, like, sure, because they think, because we're taking the piss out of each other, that we're, like, fighting, like, you know? So that's the way it comes across, the Irish, like, when they're talking to each other. Literally think you're about to fight each other, like, but it's never that. Well, most of the time, at least. See, some people can't take it as well. We have nothing to do with my dad's entire side of the family because they're alcoholics and bad people. Yeah, there you go, Rachel, you know what I mean? But it's not the alcohol that makes them bad people, they just are, like, you know what I mean? They're probably assholes outside of the drink as well, like. Yeah, we mock each other, and I've told chat before that it's literally echoes of our colonisation, like, and Irish people don't realise that. And I've said it to the lads before, and they're like, they were kind of like, wait, actually, you're right, you know what I mean? You're actually right when you think about it. So if you think about it, the English taught us to hate each other. And, like, what do we do now at home? We take the piss out of each other, we put each other down all the time. That's echoes of that, like. If you know our history, you know I'm right. They literally, like, the English told us not to speak our own language. Like, we were persecuted for speaking our own language, for doing our own cultural things. Like, you think that, like, echoes of that still aren't around 100 years later? It must be crazy. I think it's because we can keep a deadpan face when we're being sarcastic that people think we're being serious. At least that's what I found with non-Irish people. Yeah, that's it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't show that you're being sarcastic as well. Like, you know, we're good at that. Like, we're good at, like, pretending that we're being serious, but we're not at all. Like, having a laugh is tough love. Yeah, but it is literally echoes of that, whether we realise it or not. It's echoes of our English fucking colonisation, like. Trains in wine, there is truth. Taking the piss out of each other is a term of endearment. We've made it our own. Yeah, but you can see what I'm saying, Bob, right? But the reason we do that, like, shit on each other, is because of that. And, like, if you're a true patriot, like, you'll realise, wait, we're actually still continuing on the shit, like, you know what I mean? You know, you're propagating what the English fucking instilled in us, and it's not right, like, because I've seen it in other countries where people big each other up, like. We never do that at home. We never do that at home. Like, when's the last time an Irish person, like, said to you, oh, you're doing a great job and all that? It just doesn't fucking happen, like. And that's why I always say about the American people, that they're the kings of compliments. They're not afraid to say how they feel about things. We're the complete opposite of that. We're the complete opposite of that. Most people in Ireland are afraid to say what they truly feel about things. And they use that sarcasm and, you know, shitting on each other as kind of a shield, like. Oh, it's definitely getting better. Like, it eventually phase itself out, like, altogether. But there's our light gone. I appreciate you, Della. There's our light gone. So that one, we got, see how much that lasted. So that's the same light as last night. If we had had to walk down that mountain another 30 minutes or so last night, it would have been. Imagine that, like, the light had went off. Everything itself inside things we call each other shy, associating, more reserved, etc. Can always do better. It's a shame. You also do so good in many areas. So Irish are like Swedes reserved, yeah. Except when it comes to singing, a person that sings completely off key and off tempo still would get applause, yeah. Because that's the thing, a lot of people are, as you said, reserved and afraid to kind of show themselves in Ireland, even though you wouldn't think about the Irish. A lot of people are like. So when they do show themselves, or they do even do a bit of singing, is double that says, you know, it's appreciated. Because that's what we truly are, you know what I mean? That's what we truly are when we do stuff like that. Should be to show me emotions. I'd rather walk away than show me emotions. I hate being like that, don't know how to change it. No, I'm telling you, that's like instilled in me as an Irish person. Like, it's the same reason that I'm like the only IRL streamer in the Republic of Ireland. Like, it's because people are afraid of what other people think of them. And that's the biggest flaw in the Irish fucking psychology. Like, is a lot of people in Ireland are way too concerned what other people think about them. And then it makes them not be themselves, like, you know. At the same, if I'm insulting you, it's because I like you attitude, yeah. That is the way in Ireland though, like, you know what I mean? If you're insulting each other, that's, you like each other. If you don't actually like insult somebody, you probably like are talking shit behind their back, like, you know. The second they walk out of the room, you're probably saying, that fella's an awful dickhead, isn't he? He's a weirdo. That's the way it is in Ireland. And trust me as well, if anybody lives in Ireland, if you know, I'm sure you all have a friend like that, right? That will, like, literally the second somebody walks out of the room, they'll start talking shit to them. If they talk shit about them, that person that walks out of the room, they're probably talking shit about you when you're not there as well. And just remember that the next time you hear somebody talking shit about one of your mates, they probably do it to everybody when they're not there. Because it's a mindset, like. Feel like I'm being too much or vulnerable. It's fucked up, yeah, no, I'm telling you, right, and that's what it is, like, have you ever told one of your friends in your whole life back home that you appreciate them and you're thankful that you're their friend, like, you know what I mean, that they're your friend? I've done that with a few of my friends, like, over the years, but, like, I've never received it back, you know what I mean? Like, when's the last time somebody told you that, or like you said that to one of your friends? Like, it just doesn't happen, like, at home. And it should, you know what I mean? It should. Because I feel like a lot of people want to say this, but they don't. Like, they're not brave enough, or they just don't know how to. I wouldn't know how to, but you do though, Rachel. Just do it. Like, I'm telling you, it's a big relief when you do it to people. Like, I never used to tell my mum either the same thing, like, that I loved her and stuff, and now I do all the time, like, you know. And it's very freeing when you do, when you say, wait, it doesn't fucking matter, like, you know what I mean? Like, you should tell people that you love them and you appreciate them. You don't know how much it means to some of these people. Oh, yeah, that's what it is, sarcastic, you know what I mean? That's exactly what it is. That is exactly what it is. Tend to not hang out with people that talk shit about other behind their back unless it's like clearly obvious the person is something fucked up. Yeah, but yeah, everybody has that one friend, like, in their group, right, that does talk shit on everybody. And as I've said, if that person's talking shit about that person that's not there, they probably talk shit about you when you're not there as well. And just keep that in mind, like, with people like that, is they're not to be trusted. The same with them, it breaks my heart if they become demented and now that they're old. Yeah. You know, you'll regret it one day if you don't. It's the problem with that. Like times are changing, it's becoming acceptable for people to share your emotions with each other. Especially men, I suck at it, realise don't show emotion, you're a man. Yeah, that's it. Like, you know, you're told as a man not to show emotion, not to cry and stuff like that, but it's part of us, you know what I mean? That's a perfectly normal emotion to have, and it should be normalised. And as you said, thankfully it is kind of going that direction, you know. My home friends never ring me for anything, but when I meet them in public, they're all like, Jamie, why don't you hit me up? It's been ages, those people never think of me and not friends. Equivalent to public, yeah, exactly. As you get older as well, Jamie, I don't know what age you are, but like, your friend group will get smaller and smaller, and you'll realise who your real friends are, like, you know. Thing is, I do how much it would mean, I still feel like I can't do it. I know what you're saying, Rachel, but I'm telling you, it's a big relief when you just say it to people. English completely changed your language. That caused a trauma in your history. They did. They changed our whole culture, our whole language. What are you saying? What am I saying with something I always try to do is never leave the last words with the ones you love the most. I hate you, or something to that effect. You never know, it's the last words you say to them. Exactly. I need to pee now, sorry. Step up over
Let's slow it down with these raps. Let me catch my breath. Let my brain relax. So basically levitation. I'm in the tennis court like a break in. Hit you with a chair like the World Wrestling Federation. I got a bad reputation. Doc wanna put me on a better medication. Cops hate me, harass me, interrogation. I'm dumb in the head like an education. That is not old with it. I'm finished. I'm done with it. Don't want to. Let's put it like this. The definition of a rap flow. When we reinvent it like this.
There's Danish inflation and the don't cry or show pain. Just get on with it. The thing with friendship is the less you have, the more valuable it is. Yeah, exactly. Just peed like 30 minutes ago. I know. It's like the problem with drinking, right? Same here. All gender roles. It wasn't like enforced literally, but there was a slight consensus. You had to be tougher as a guy when I was in school and hanged out with friends and we tried. Yeah, that's always been a fucking thing, you know. So damaging, even the English we use ain't really like English. No, it's Hiberno English is the English we speak. Early 30s here, man. When you're older, you cut off the bullshit around you. Grandmother says, Jamie, if you feel uncomfortable or something is wrong, I don't know where, then you need to revisit and discard it. It's not productive. Exactly this, as I say to chat all the time, like there's fucking 7 billion people in the world. Like, don't waste your time on people that just bring you down or bring a negativity into your life. There's plenty of people out there that are, do you know what I mean, they want to do good by you, so try to find them people. First, I love my grandmum, apart from having watched Judge Judy for hours when I go visit. No one enforced it, but looked at differently if you didn't. So we thought. Irish English has its own tone separate from English. Yeah, Hiberno English is what we speak. Irish speak English like it's a second language with all the influences of the Irish language. Yeah, it kind of is. Like, that's why when we go to places like this, even you see it all the time with me, chat, right? People still don't understand my English, right? So like, them people probably understand people from England perfectly well, like, right? But you see all the time people struggle with the accent, like. Irish English doesn't, yeah, Hiberno English, yeah. The torch has gone dead though. Let's see if we can turn it back on for a minute. Yeah, it's gone dead. Sorry. Yeah, like, you should appreciate each other more. And just the people around you that do bring goodness into your life, as I said. There's people that bring shit into your life, just cut them off. They're not worth it. You're literally better off being on your own than having people that bring negativity into your life. Me, I'm sure there's plenty of people here in the chat that probably don't understand me fully at first, right? Sir Lammer, you probably still struggle with the accent a bit, right? But you get used to it more and more as you listen, like. Laffy and PM as an Irish accent from sitting next to PM. Irish guy, really? I didn't know that. He's picked up a bit of the accent. Yes, see, Sir Lammer has been with us now a few months and she struggles with the accent, but I'm sure she's getting used to it. Australia couldn't understand me so much more than people in England. Had no problems with my accent in Australia at all, really. Nearly a year. Oh, you're just up on the year now, Princess. Well, by the time we're back in Ireland, you'll be up on the year, right? That's what I was about to say as well, Sarcastic, right? Aussies are like, there's a lot of Irish heritage there as well. A lot of the prisoners in English prisons were Irish, like, and they were sent down there. When I went to SA for 2 years, I had to change my accent, slow down a lot, you know. I know what you mean. Understand you really well. Like I rewatched Love Hate. I have to rewind a few times. My accent is kind of it's definitely not strong compared to some people's accents. My accent is a bit of a mongrel accent now, you know. My accent is a bit of a mix of Wexford and Dublin now, so. And like, even as far as like as far as people in Dublin go, like my family are quite well spoken, like, you know. You don't need these parents, because don't tell her that. Don't tell her that, she thinks I'm a fucking scumbag that. I know what just about everybody in Ireland says this, but you know, I am actually related to like people that were like big up in the IRA, like. It's more through me uncle's marriage though, like than anything. Like they're like my relatives in law, like. But they're up in just gonna need to get down Dundalk. If anybody knows Dundalk. Fella living in a Sniper Davy murder. I think I've been out on sessions with him a couple of times. I think he's been at a couple of sessions I've been at. I think he was down at a few of the biker marquees and stuff that I was at years ago. Sniper Davy, yeah. auntie was best friends with what's the guy's name up in Dublin? You know, Viper Daly? Is it Viper? Was it Viper? He's a big fucking like a gang guy, but my auntie was best friends with his wife. He owned the pub. So my grandparents' place and where my auntie used to live, there's a place called the Furry Bog. Was the name of the pub right up in Whitechurch, and Viper used to own that pub, like, and my aunt to be over there the whole time, and she'd be hanging out with his wife, like. Man, anybody on the everywhere on the border there, yeah. It's called the Furry Bog. It's up in Whitechurch, up in Dublin. But he owned that pub, like, all drug money, like. People, I'm not messing with the chat, right? Like, you go into this pub, and there'd be people doing lines on the fucking the bar, like. I'm not even joking with you. People doing lines on the bar and rolling up joints inside, smoking them the whole lot, like. It was one of the roughest pubs I've ever been in my whole life. Had the strongest accents. I'd say Cork is a good competitor, like. People from like Cork City and stuff have a really, really strong accent. Or maybe like people like farmers out in like the Kerry Mountains and stuff like that. Yeah, Kerry, yeah. Kerry is very strong as well. There was an IRA more of a drug dealer with Martin Cahill. Wasn't he called the General? Yeah. That was the General, right? Martin Cahill. She knew him as well. My auntie knew him as well. The General. To be fair, it's not hard to know somebody that knows someone in paramilitary. Yeah. There's a lot of links to us, right? Everyone was going to marches, talking about IRA. He was younger, a pure rebel, yeah. I can imagine up in that part of the country, alright. Black and white movie, but General was great. I don't think I've ever seen the black and white one. I've obviously seen the more modern one loads of times, so. Who's the main actor in that again? What's your man's name? You know, the guy that plays the General in the more modern one? One from like the 90s or something. What's his name? Like, he's a famous actor, like a famous Irish actor. Brendan Gleeson, that's it. If you've never seen that movie, chat, there's a good one for you, T, if you're still in the chat. The General. If you've never seen that, or The Wind That Shakes the Barley. Never seen them two Irish films, go watch them. Or if you want a really sad Irish film, The General is his name. Yeah, The General is the name of the film. Or if you want a really sad Irish film, Angela's Ashes. Well, be prepared to cry watching that film. It's awful. It's about what the nuns in the Catholic Church did to the kids in Ireland. Wind That Shakes, yeah, that's Cillian Murphy's best movie as well. If you've never seen The Wind That Shakes the Barley, it's a brilliant movie. It's misery porn, yeah. Angela's Ashes, yeah, it's horrible. It's a horrible movie. But it will give you a good idea for people that are not from Ireland, what people in Ireland went through. Here's the General, 2007 or something. It's inside. Or if you've never seen Michael Collins, that's a great Irish movie to watch. Who plays Michael Collins in the movie? Pierce Brosnan, is it? No, it's not Pierce. Is it Pierce Brosnan? Liam Neeson, yeah, Liam Neeson, sorry. Liam Neeson, yeah. I'm terrible with names, as you know by now. Yeah, if you've never seen Michael Collins, that's a great movie as well, about Irish history. That's about the 1916 rebellion. It's a great movie. Irish Mafia? They weren't the Mafia, they were the defenders of Ireland, basically. They were called terrorists, but they were the opposite of that. They were literally set up to protect the Irish people. The IRA, if people don't know this, the IRA were literally set up to protect the Irish people from the English army. They were not a terrorist organisation just fighting to get our country back. They were literally originally set up to defend the Irish people from the absolute fucking violence and cruelty that was going on from the English army, like. And that's what people don't understand. They think they were just like fucking, do you know what I mean, terrorists. Like, people call them terrorists. And people forget as well that it was the IRA that fucking decommissioned up the north. It was the IRA that laid down their arms to stop the fighting with the English up the north. It wasn't the other way around. The English weren't ever going to give any fucking ground to us, like, but it was the IRA that fucking decommissioned to stop all the trouble up the north. Not the other way around. Back in times were bastards, yeah. They fucking sure were. So, what's the successor? And that's nearly wiped out. That's nearly 100. And people don't realise as well that the Irish people were fighting. There was rebellions for hundreds of years before we were successful. There was so many failed rebellions in the country that people never even talk about. That fucking hundreds of thousands of men gave their life trying to win back our country, like. And though it was a successor, it's the brave few. And people always say the fighting Irish. It wasn't the fighting Irish. It was the brave fucking few that would actually stand up. If everybody in Ireland actually stood up, the English would have been drove out after fucking being there a few years. Never mind 800. That was the problem in Ireland. It was always ever the brave few that fucking stood up. It's the same in the 1916. They were outnumbered, outgunned, but they still fucking did it, knowing that they'd even lose their lives. And it would probably be another failed rebellion, but they did it. Literal Irish people believing the narrative is calling them terrorists. Yeah, that's the thing, like. Imagine calling the people that were defending our country terrorists, like, it's fucking insane. Ra blew up Canary Wharf and the Brits soon got the message. It was nearly wiped out, lads, and it wasn't for other countries to come and help. Would have been shagged. Nobody ever came and helped us, that's the crazy thing. Nobody did. Nobody ever, we were fucking colonised for 800 years. When did any foreign country come and help us? Michael Collins really got stabbed in the back by the little dude. Forget his name, the guy who said De Valera, yeah, it was De Valera. Lovely English folks too. No, I don't have a problem with English. It's the English monarchy and the government over there. I don't have a problem with English people either. Like, they had no choice in the matter. They were told they did what they were told. There was people here that joined the fucking English army, for fuck's sake. We had our own what would you call it, where we were fighting each other. Big rebellion in the part of the country. Yeah, Wexford was known for the rebellions, alright. Even though they're known as the Yellow Bellies, they were one of the bravest parts of the country. IRA weren't completely innocent, but that's war. Listen, people always get hurt. That's the thing. When people don't listen, violence is the only answer, Rachel, and that's the problem. Sadly, the IRA changed so much they end up pushing drugs and guns. That's all the IRA. The modern IRA are just like a drug gang, a drug and arms gang. But I'm talking about the real IRA. End up pushing drugs, fighting off the invaders. The Irish Republican Army as well. I'm not talking about the modern. They're people that call themselves IRA today are posers. They're an insult to what them guys actually were. So they ain't fighting for our freedom anymore. Germans sent arms, yeah. They were about the only country that helped us. But we were swapping them whiskey, right? Barrels of whiskey for them arms. Devil Air is only a big yank anyway. Devil Air is the one that conceded the north to the English, right? I think that's why they acted in 1916 in the East Horizon, since the Brits were very occupied fighting in World War I. They still had a big gunship on the Liffey though that we had no chance against fighting, like, and the boys still went and fought it. Can I ask somewhat dumb question? No, there's no such thing as dumb question. Only dumb answers. French should help out in 1798. No, they have nothing to do with that IRA. As I said, it's a completely different fucking thing now. The guys that are in the IRA or call themselves IRA nowadays ain't. I mean, they're posers. The guys that were actually in the IRA would be rolling in their fucking graves nowadays if they seen what was going on in their country. Sadly, they called in lots of resources to fight the Irish. The whole post office building was burnt out in Dublin at the GPO. Same with other side up north. Sure, last time we got in a black taxi in Belfast, the taxi driver tried to give me free cocaine so he'd get me hooked first out. What the fuck? Northern Ireland is no longer on. Yeah, there's been talks of it again recently. That ain't the stupid question. There's talks about it again recently. There's been talks of us, like, what we're going to do with our national anthem and stuff if it happens, or our flag. Because our flag literally represents the unification with the North. Like, so if we were unified again, the flag doesn't make sense. So there was talks of us changing back to our old flag, which is basically just an all green flag with a golden harp on it, which is Ireland's original flag. And then we were thinking of changing our national anthem to the Fields of Athenry, right? There is talks of that again, T. There is talks of it. Hopefully one day, in my lifetime at least, I'd love to see it happen, like. It shouldn't be an issue nowadays. It should, like, it's our country, like, you know what I mean? I thought I was joking. It would be nice, yeah. United Ireland, there'd be some celebrations in Ireland, like, if that happened, like, you know what I mean? It'd literally go on for a fucking few years, I'd say. What time in the morning is it now, chat? 2:45. That's what they always say though, Bob, but we'd figure it out. You know what I mean? That's like what the English used to say back when we wanted our freedom, is all you wouldn't be able to, like, afford to run it and all this, like, you know. We'd figure it out, we'd manage. I think people will be willing to take that burden to have our country back as well. sure, every country in the world is constantly being bailed out, you know what I mean? Like, how many trillions of dollars are fucking America in debt, like? That's what British colonists said about USA before. Yeah, exactly. That they couldn't do it themselves. They couldn't afford it, right? That's the whole rhetoric, right? But how can people say we can't handle, like, or we can't afford our own country? Like, it's just crazy. Still owe 230 billion people's grandchildren will still pay. Yeah, exactly. Like, we're eternally in debt now anyway. So what would we do? Another 100 billion onto that, like, you know? Like, every country in the world at the moment is in debt. But I always say, what's the circumstances of that debt? Like, you know what I mean? If we don't pay it, they're gonna come bomb. Do you see the bat that's flying past us? They're gonna come bomb the country, like, if we don't pay it. Do you know what I mean? We're just eternally in debt to these people now, like every other fucking country in the world. I think British government realised colonisation is dead now. They should return half Northern Ireland to Ireland. No, they should return the whole thing, not half it. I do worry Northern Ireland is too far gone, like another nation. You feel the difference when you cross the border, but we'll see. That, like, do you know what I mean? That border disappears, Rachel, and that dies out in a few generations. You know, it wouldn't be an overnight thing. But, like, Ireland would be back to Ireland in maybe 3-4 generations. Great Britain was charging huge taxes and there was no other benefit for it. Could be worse. America owes like 20 trillion, maybe more, yeah. And ask yourself the question, chat, who do all these countries owe the money to? Younger generations outnumber Protestants now. It's a numbers game, yeah. We were told that when we were up in Derry, that the whole demographics shifted from mostly Protestant to mostly Catholic just in like 2 generations, because the Catholics were like having way more children. We talked to a man up in Derry about that. Oh, to see the fish jumping out in the water there. I don't want to know. I don't even like looking at my own bills. See, there also the people in Northern Ireland that they want part of Ireland or UK votes say. Well, my answer to them people would be, if you don't want to be part of Ireland, move to England. That would be my answer to them people. It's not up for debate. Like, our country is our country at the end of the day. That would be my answer to them people. Simple and plain. You don't want to be part of Ireland? See you later. Move to England then. I'm going to be still part of the United Kingdom. Move to it then, because this is no longer part of it. It never was in the first place. Never should have been. Oh, I found that when I went up to Derry as well, Rachel, that like I was very surprised at like how much of it still exists up there, like, you know what I mean? Like, seeing the IRA fucking signs up all over the place, and the Protestant areas with the Union Jacks on their curbs and stuff was very strange for me. It just doesn't exist down south anymore. Here's the moon. then you'd be doing the same thing the invaders did. People have lives and families, and it was, that's, do you know what I mean? I think one fucking generation or something of them people is worth us getting our country back after 800 years of occupation. Like, it's 900 years now. If that's the price that has to be paid for United Ireland, that's the price that has to be paid. It should have never been that way in the first place. Yeah, because I've never seen anything like that before. I mean, so it's very weird for me, right? And I said it, and you seen, like, when I mentioned it to people, they were a bit weird with it as well. So you could just openly talk about them things down south, like, and nobody. For their own people, yeah. I understand that, but as I said, like, that would have to be a price that's paid, like, for us to have our country back. I've seen the bloodshed. It was very easy for you to say, just move and just wish your way home as it is yours now. You know what I mean? I know that, but, like, you understand from my perspective as well that at the end of the day, Ireland is Ireland. Like, it doesn't belong to England. Like, can I just say though that everyone on this rock generally has a great time for each other, regardless of being in the Republic of Northern Ireland. We have love for each other, care for each other. No, I'm not saying that. Like, it's not like I'm saying, oh, I hate everybody from the north or anything. But, like, Ireland should be its own country. Like, this shouldn't, like, like, all this shit that's going on, just for example, in Palestine and Israel, right? There's the world's eye on that, right? That shit's been going on for fucking hundreds of years in our country. We've been colonized by a foreign fucking country, and nobody says shit about that. It's a whole different fucking, like, perspective took on our fucking strife and our struggle than it is in other countries. Like, we're way more sympathetic for people fucking in the other side of the world than we are to our own fucking plight now, which is fucking nuts. I also think it's a cakewalk on people down south voting for United Ireland. People have their heads in the clouds a bit if they think that. I mean, it belongs to whoever has it. Before it was Ireland, it was Viking. Maybe we should give it back to them. No, I don't think so. Other countries did try to intervene during the genocide, though. Sure, they did, but, like, it still went on, right, for such a long time, like, and it's still going on now. You know what I mean? And that's obviously not the genocide side of it, but we're still occupied. We're still occupied by a foreign nation at the end of the day. And the crazy thing is, like, England condemn other countries doing it. Like, England condemning fucking Russia moving into Ukraine. How is it any different from them sitting still in Ireland? Like? Huh? Explain that one to me, Chad. Think about that one for a minute. How do they condemn other countries when they're still foreignly occupied in Ireland, like, as we speak? No, I know what you're saying, Bob. I know exactly what you're saying. That is the other side of the coin. I know you're playing devil's advocate. The Brits were real mean back then, hard to fight them. Big superpowers they just took what they did. See, the thing was, we were just completely outgunned. They had way better tech than us, you know, way big gun chips, big boats that we just didn't have, fucking guns we didn't have. We had no way of really fighting them. Like, it was just like, as like Rach said, it was just genocide. Like, you know what I mean? Nobody ever talks about that shit. Like why isn't Ireland mentioned the way? Just like, I'm not fucking comparing these things, but like, why isn't Ireland ever mentioned the way that like fucking all the Jews were killed? Like, you know what I mean? It's never like put into that context. The shit that went on in Ireland. It's all fucking pushed aside and and played down all the time. We invented our urban guerrilla war, yeah. It's the only way we could fight them was through guerrilla warfare, right? Native American tribes sent us money and the Muslim ruler tried sending us supplies. And like this, somebody said earlier, the Germans supplied us with weapons as well. Not counting the Dan, the first people in there were Celts, yeah. They were. One reason Ireland has left a lot. This is a tax break for companies. And for the, yeah, we were tax haven, but I don't think that really is as much of a thing today as it was. The shit that happened in Ireland was grim. Yeah, like there was so much darkness in our country for so long, like, and it's just never talked about. It's just pushed aside, like. And why wasn't I offered this? That's not a reason. I'm not saying that, Rachel. I think you're missing my point altogether. I'm saying like it's the Irish genocide like is not looked at like the way other countries are. It's not even referenced like that. It's just like nearly said as an okay thing. You know what I mean? When other people talk about, even the Irish people talk about, you're seeing it right now. You're like downplaying like the shit that actually happened to us, like. And that's the thing, we were told not to talk about this. We were forced not to talk about this shit. And it's literally like I can see it now in the chat, like, you know what I mean? This is the whole colonization thing like playing out right now. Right, but this is happening right now and I feel that we know better now. Yeah, but do you not understand what's happening in Ireland is still happening right now? We're still colonised to this day and people don't even say shit about it anymore. They're more concerned with what's happening in fucking Palestine than what's happening in our own country, like. Do you not understand, like, you know what I mean? We're still colonised, but nobody says shit about it. It's grand, it will sort itself out, like, you don't see people going out and fighting for our freedom anymore in our country, right? We had starving to that. So just because we're comfortable that it's okay to be colonised, is that what you're saying? Children are starving to death. That's definitely not true. There's like fucking 40,000 homeless people on the streets in Ireland back home. I don't know about starving to death, but like it's not like our country is perfect either. The war had turned political now. It's a different type of war. Children are not starving to death here. They are in Palestine. Yeah, but you're conflating things, like you're straw manning the whole argument here, like you're saying, oh, because children are starving here, it's okay what's going on at home, like that's just that doesn't make any sense. that's more important because there's children starving in Palestine. I'm not saying at all, Rachel, that what is going on in Palestine isn't fucking fucked up beyond all belief. But like, our country is more important at the end of the day. Just because you care about one thing doesn't... Yeah, but what I'm saying is you should care about more about your own country than what's going on in fucking a country that has nothing to do with you and you have no effect on. I can care about more than one thing at once. Yeah, so can all we, but I'm saying your priority of care is the important thing. As you said about being controlled. If you put an animal in salt space, they would freak out, but you give them enough space for illusion of freedom, they're free slaves. And there's a patch of freedom, yeah. That's it, like. I don't, because people aren't suffering here as much as they are in Palestine. The level of suffering, though, has been far higher in Ireland for fucking hundreds of years. Like, just because it's not that level of suffering right now at this moment doesn't mean it's irrelevant now. Or their suffering is more important. What you mean, there's children starving every day in Africa. Is they not important anymore because what's going on in Palestine? Do you know what I'm saying? People starving all over the planet, like. We'll never understand what they're going through in Palestine. No, we won't, and they'll never understand what we went through in Ireland either. Right? And neither me or you went through what went on in this country. No, as I said, there's echoes of it still in our country. That level of suffering being happening in Africa even now since the beginning of time. Yeah, like there's war still going on every day in Africa. Nobody talks about that shit, right? But we didn't suffer it. So like the people that fought for our freedom and stuff at home, they don't matter because we're not suffering anymore. Is that the way it is? Do you know what I mean? This suffering that's happening right now. Yeah, but you just... I think you might want to do a bit more research into like the Irish history and see what we actually went through in the country. Because I don't think you fully understand it. Like, I think that might be part of the issue. It all does matter, but as I said, our fucking history and what's happening in our country matters more. The same for every person in every country they're from. It matters more to them, and it should matter more. As I said to you, Rachel, if the thing in Palestine matters so much to you, go to Palestine and help them. There's nothing you can do at home. Like, you saying, oh, I care about what's happening in Palestine, doesn't make a fucking lick of difference to the people in Palestine. Doesn't make a lick of difference. You saying, oh, I support Palestine, I support this, I support that. That doesn't make shit to them. They're still getting bombs dropped on them every day. Doesn't make a fuck all difference to them. Oh, isn't it Sinn Féin TD's receptionist threatened? I don't know Irish history. I don't know if you do. Like, if you're saying that like the strife in Palestine is more important than what went on in their own country. I'm sure you know better in Wexford. Now Rachel's getting offended now. Sorry, Rachel. Still waiting for that justice to come on TV. Sinn Féin. Person when they're a baby. I am, to be honest. Well, calm down. I'm not saying this to offend you. Relax your cocks. You can have your own beliefs. I'm not trying to force mine on you. I'm just telling you mine. Do you know what I mean? I'm not telling you, oh, you shouldn't believe that. I'm just telling you mine. And what I think on that matter. It's the whole thing with conversation, Rachel. You can't be getting upset because somebody doesn't agree with you. right, this is about, yeah, like, you know what I mean? I'm not saying I'm correct, this is just my fucking perspective on it, like, you know what I mean? I'm not saying you can't, that's my whole attitude towards everything. Everybody has a different perspective on life in general. But that's my perspective on things is the thing that's happening in Palestine, there's nothing we can do about it. As Irish people, we can say we're supported and all this, but there's nothing we can do about it. But there is something we can do about our own fucking thing in our country. In our own fucking country. There's things we can change in our own country that would make the place a lot better. I just feel like you're shutting me down a lot. I'm not. I'm just disagreeing with some of the stuff you're saying. You can be disagreed with and I'm not like fucking shitting on you. Like, if I'm coming across that way, I don't mean it that way. Maybe I come across a bit arrogant when I talk, like, but I am after having a few drinks as well, don't forget. He disagrees just like I disagree with him earlier. I feel with topics like this, it's all about understanding. It's not who's right or wrong. Just have control over right or wrong so we can share our stories in a neutral way to share experience. Exactly. Like, you know, I'm not saying I'm 100% right in anything I'm saying. I'm just saying what I think about things. I know I disagree with you too. I've known that since the beginning, yeah. There's nobody you're going to meet in life, chat. And that's the thing why we can't ever get together on anything, any one thing, and there's always so much discussion, fucking debate and discussion over fucking every little simple thing in the world, is because we all have our own beliefs, we all have our own standards in life, and we'll never 100% agree with anybody in life. As I've said to chat before, do you agree with all your family 100% of the time? I can guarantee you there's not a person in the chat that will say yes. Do you agree with your parents, the closest people that you are in this world? Do you agree with your parents 100% of the time? No, you fucking don't, right? I can think you're wrong if I think that way, though. Agreements and disagreements are all equally important. It's all about sharing experience and making sense. And my dad thinks he made little lamb down his face. So no, yeah. It's all about backing up your arguments with facts and reasonable comparisons, etc. Yeah, and I don't think I do a bad job of that, right? So, like, usually when I say something, I at least have some fucking information about what I'm saying. I don't just say things to say them. It's coming from a point of, like, fucking learning and, like, things I've seen and things I know about life, you know, or history, you know. Literally cannot even talk about the moon landing, there we argue. I don't take it personally if someone disagrees with me. You can be still friends with disagree. I disagree with friends all the time. Like, you'd have no friends if you fell out with your friends every time you disagreed. You know what I mean? As I said, you'll never meet anybody in your life that you agree with 100% of the things 100% of the time. So I learned why they say to never trust a pharaoh at the age of 40. Does it run down your legs? Still love you, Rachel, for you. Exactly. Like, Rachel would be thinking now, fucking Baron's mad at me or something, and I'm just like, fucking disagree with what you're saying. I'm so in love with you. Like, if I said to you before, Rachel, like, I think that, like, what's going on in Palestine and Israel, I think both sides are fucked. So I don't agree with either of them, to be honest with you. I don't think there's any right in that situation, what's going on over there. Sure, the people from Israel are the oppressors there in that situation. I know that for a fact. But, like, the shit that, like, they're doing on the Palestine side is fucked as well. So I can't, like, lay in bed with either side. I think both sides are fucked. Feel like British art, but there's no comparison there. There is no comparison. If you actually know the history of what's going on there, there is no real comparison to that. And the whole thing with what's going on in Palestine is there's like 50 Arab nations around Palestine there that could take them people in the morning, and they don't. We never had that option. Just my opinion, yeah. No, I know that, but I'm just telling you, that is a fact, like that there is options for them there. We didn't have any. You have to ask why the other Arab nations won't help. I don't have to ask, but like, you think they would, right? Like, you don't see them opening their doors for any of these refugees from Palestine or anything. But they're supposed to be their people, right? Cigarette stuff, man. So I've rationalised it as he is good, so still, but he just can't be sashed with that bullshit. It's obviously an insult to me, that's it. Respect your opinion, doesn't matter to me. Break up with him because he shuffled political face and propaganda in my face and tried to convince him of facts. Wouldn't listen, or couldn't be bothered with it. Yeah. When you show people like actual facts, like, or like argue with reason to them and they just won't accept it, then it's just pointless at that point. It's just pointless. Like, you're not open to at least maybe changing your mind on things over certain things. Like, I don't know, there's just even point to talking to people at all about things. Hey, what about what a country's saying? If you're Irish, don't apply for a job in this country now. Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, we were considered dogs. Like, we were considered lower than dogs in our country at one stage. But like, that shit's not talked about anymore. Yeah, if we were both adults, we can agree and accept the facts. Do get so sometimes things are too much, you know. I have with people that can't think properly, objectively. There's nothing to discuss. Lock positions. Is that? Yeah, that's the thing. Like, we can't like have at least some fucking give on or admit that you're wrong. Like, that's the biggest thing I think with people is sometimes like people can't just say, right, do you know what I mean? I was wrong on that thing and just go back on what they said. Arab nations are pretty divided. They have their own external pressure. Yeah. No Irish allowed outside in pubs and restaurants, yeah. In America too, yeah. That's way more recent than people like think, like, you know what I mean? It's way more recent than people think that shit was going on. It's only a few generations ago, like. Like, just because everything is all peaches and creamsville now, like, doesn't mean we should forget about the hardships our people went through in the past, is all I'm saying. So just because we're thriving now as a country, or we're doing well now as a country, doesn't mean that we should forget all the fucking hardship that the people in our country fought for fucking hundreds of years, all the people that died in our country fighting the fucking English. That should not just be allowed to just be forgotten. And for most people, it is fucking forgotten. And rather than getting angry and forcing their day down your out, isn't it? The Dunning-Kruger effect with people like history of the part of the world is very interesting. If you read up on a lot of those countries, were very secular about Islamic extremism took over in the 1970s, brilliant. In Lebanon was mostly Christian, for example. As people fought for a country would say with Palestine, alright, over their own country. You realise that most of them people that died didn't even know that that country existed, right? So you're saying like they still live today, and their country wasn't the whole that you think that they'd be like, oh, let's fucking support Palestine. And I do side with Palestine as well if there's a side to be taken, but I said both sides are fucked up. Obviously, we're going to side with this side that's being oppressed, like, you know what I mean, and colonised. It just makes sense from a country that was colonised as well, and that's the only reason we do it. But, like, I'm not saying, Rachel, you shouldn't be agreeing with, like, or you shouldn't be on Palestine's side. I'm just saying that, like, our story and what happens in our country is far more important than what's happening in that side of the world. They call the people in Palestine terrorists, right? It was like I was saying earlier about the IRA. They were called terrorists. Then they're fighting for their freedom, right? I know exactly what you're saying, like. I know why people side with them, but they've done fucking really fuck shit as well. So did we, like, you know what I mean? But it's all part of war. Like, as I said, when people won't listen anymore, the only response is violence then at that stage. You know, when there's no talking to be done anymore, there's no debate, the next step is always violence. That's the only way that you can resolve issues like that. When there's no just leeway from either side, it's always going to lead to violence. It's our history. It's like every country's history is just steeped in blood, like, you know. People of colour in America have had it bad, and everyone knows in the past, but the Irish were treated the same. Irish was not allowed in the same place. Normal whites were classified subhuman, but no one talks about us. Not even us. That's all I'm trying to say, Bob. And like, that's the thing. Like, we're literally like nearly told not to fucking talk about it, and that's part of our colonization as well. Like, it's like a taboo thing to talk about our own fucking trauma in the country. Like, it's fucking crazy. When Iran hit back this week, they levelled half of Tel Aviv. I couldn't ever think it was karma. Yes, I resurgence never, that's why. I ain't seeing so many people that say swallow propaganda and political YouTubers think. Thanks. So it's insane. Yeah, poor, it's always ugly, and then some people die. Unfortunately, yeah, and that's the thing, like, you know. Like, as I said in the chat the other day, like, there was only 90,000 English civilians killed in World War II from German bombings, and people never talk about. And I'm not saying, just because I'm saying this doesn't mean I agree with fucking the Germans or the Nazis or anything like this, but it's just a fact of war. How many people died from the English and American bombings in Germany? How many civilians died? Nobody ever talks about that. How many? Can anybody in the chat tell me? So 90,000 died from the bombings in England, in London and places like that. How many German civilians died in Germany? About 2 million, yeah. Nobody ever fucking brings up that fact. It's like it's okay because they were the people in the wrong. Do you know what I mean? 2 fucking million people died, like, civilians, not soldiers. But that's okay because Germany were in the wrong, right? It's not okay for either side to be doing that shit. Wrong or right. I want world peace. The world reminds me of I'm the streamer and you are the follower. You're the follower, you'll never know the rule of intent. In channel or the world, the streamers, country's leaders. Does that make sense? No dogs, no blacks, no Irish signs on Facebook. Yeah, that was a thing like everywhere in America at one stage. I think though, like there will never be true world peace though. Like I think it's a thing that will always rear its ugly head. As somebody says earlier, war never changes. It's been part of our history, you know. Every country's history is steeped in blood, as I said. So it makes World War II so cruel. Besides the Holocaust was liberating and discriminating on a civilian scale never before, yeah. That's something that nobody ever brings up, like, there's like there's 2 million people killed in the bombings in Germany, like 2 million civilians. Well, our whole, like a lot of our culture and our economies and stuff like that are built around war as well. So, like, look at Americans. I'm just using America as an example. Like China and Russia and other places like that are the same. Just look at America's budget for their military spending every year, and you realize how much of a business that is. Like, and it's in their interest for there to be conflict. Like, an interesting stat about America is, you know, that America have not been um, involved in a foreign conflict since have been involved in foreign conflicts since World War Two. They haven't been a day out of like a foreign conflict since World War Two, or is it Vietnam? It's one or the other, and so either Vietnam or World War Two. They haven't been a day out of conflict with like a foreign nation, or had troops on the ground in a foreign nation. Like. So the type of John Lydon's book he wrote after the Sex Pistols seems like there's a nasty history to all large immigrant groups, which is the basis of insanity. Everyone was an immigrant to the US, other have Native Americans. Yeah, and even the Native Americans haven't they recently found that there was people there long before them? Weren't the Native Americans originally, is that mistaken over, man? I don't recognise the UK anymore. World War Two, because Korea was 1950. Yeah, it must be since World War Two then, yeah. They haven't been a day out of war. If you work on a job and you want to climb the ladder, don't you have to better someone else to get there? It's always related back to your day-to-day life. Makes sense, yeah. I know what you're saying, yeah. It's all one big competition, right? Thank you for the ball, thank you for the ball. Oh, that's what American is, like, it is a country of immigrants, yeah. That's why it's always crazy for people in America that are Americans to say, like, oh, we don't want Mexicans here and stuff like that. I'm like, what? What? We don't want people coming across the border. I'm like, what? Your whole country is fucking immigrants. Hello. Thank you for the follow. It's about criminals, which is common sense. Not sure if America had troops anywhere in the 1920s. If it did, you could go back to World War II. One then. I think the stat I've heard is since World War II, like, they haven't been a day out of war with somebody. Right, because that was the best move away when you want them. And I noticed that with Americans as well. So a lot of people in America don't say they're American, right? This is a weird thing I've noticed with Americans, and you don't really support other American people, like, because you'd say like, oh, he's fucking Hispanic, or you know, he's from here, he's from there. Like, there's a lot of like weird separation in America because of that kind of shit, right? I see it the whole time in the UFC. I know that's a little fucking example of it, but there is, right? It's kind of strange, like when you ask somebody if they're American, they never really say like I'm American. Like they'll say, oh, I'm Hispanic, or I'm Irish, or you know. I live in Virginia. Currently, I was born in South Korea. In South Korea, cool. I think we've had a few people from Korea in the chat. Small shitty town is barely any takeout. An option would be Mexican food or Japanese food. I never thought I could do it last time as well. I could have put, I'll have to do that now actually, because my torch is gone dead. Could have put the phone, the second phone, is there light? Oh, I don't even know why I rolled another smoke now. Well, I guess we're going out for a run. What time in the morning? It's 3:30 in the morning. Fucking hell. And that whole conversation is just a good example of why people can't, you know what I mean? Or people shouldn't really just talk about politics, because it's just, as I said, nobody ever fully agrees on it. It's kind of like nearly designed that way, so we can't. So it causes conflict even just talking about it. So we avoid it most of the time. But it's just like, it's unavoidable to talk about sometimes. I don't even know what led us down that. Shut up, Baron. See, the way Rachel thought that was aimed at her as well. So I was literally thinking that as I said it. I was like, Rachel's going to think that's about her now. I was just saying it in general. It can be designed that way, but it depends how we react to it exactly. As I said, as the chat said as well, like, you know, it's just a debate. I wasn't really getting heated with you, like, you know. You can disagree with things and still like each other, you know. As I've said to you 100 times here in the chat, don't let one bad moment in the chat that you don't like or you disagree on ruin all the good moments. You know what I mean? Because I found that as well with the bit of drama we had on the boat the other day. People always tend to focus on the negative. So we had like a wonderful day. We went out to visit 3 islands, and all people were talking about was the shit that happened on the boat. You know what I mean? And that lasted like 10-15 minutes tops, like, right? even blow. Yeah, sure, there's a civil war in Ireland. Like as I said, people were part of the English army and stuff, and they were oppressing their own people. Like you know. I wasn't angry at all. No, I hope nobody in chat got angry, but if you did, just remember, as I said, don't let one moment where you disagree with me or think I'm a dickhead for what I'm saying ruin all the other moments or make you not come along back. Can't we all just get along? I know months ago that we didn't have the same opinions. That's fair with me. Not everyone has the same opinions. Nobody has the same opinions. As I said, there's nobody you're going to meet that you agree with 100%. Can't we all just get along? I could say something now, but I won't. Rachel hates me. Rachel's not the one that left for like fucking 2-3 months over one little minute. That's all I'll say on that situation, Charlie. What snacks or some meals have you had here? In the apartment, like, I've just been eating like crisps and chocolate and fucking sweets. I have some salami and what was it? I have a bit of bread there. I made myself a toasted sandwich last night. Charlie's gone now again for another 3 months. Meals, apparently don't eat meals, live in chips and Haribo. So, as I've said to you before, I ain't fucking ever gonna chase anybody around here. If you don't want to be here, see you later. Is this slow? Yeah, a family here in the US have British officials and the family seems like less politics or talks about the matter arrogant to have the family moving to the US out of jealousy the government. So the administration officer and the family got here and joined now. Weird story, but it happens. Yeah, no, you are better off like avoiding politics and religion altogether because it's, as I said, it's designed to cause arguments. It's literally, like, think about war. It's literally designed, it's conflict, right? Talking about it creates conflict as well. Should make him cry again, murder. Like I saw. He hasn't said anything since, you know. Braving it for you. I think he's actually gone after you said that. I'm not surprised. It's fucking. Some people are just sensitive little pussies. I'm not gonna fucking beat around the bush about it. Jesus. What am I supposed to say? Maybe like apologize for being such a little pussy and like say that like I fucking overreacted and I left out 3 months over fucking a 2-minute conversation when you were shitting on other people in the chat. How about that? If you want me to be honest. or maybe come in and say, "Are we cool?" like, or something like that, you know. Okay. Let's head back down to our spot again. Look what I have, but be nice and chill if that's possible. No, for people in chat that don't know, like, I mean, Charlie knows exactly what I'm talking about. Like, I'm not like just fucking singling them out or anything. Charlie knows exactly what I'm talking about. He did ask, yeah. He did ask, so like I answered to Charlie. You know, I'm brutally honest with people, so it kind of annoyed me that you just dipped out like that over something so simple. Somebody that used to be in the chat every day just left over like a 2-minute thing, like, to be honest with you. Oh, you got the heart rate. Where did you get that? Huh? Where did you get that? I think it's 2:30 AM. No, it's 3:40. It's a hype train heart. I know it's a hype train heart, but I'm like, where did you get it from? I am a machine. Literally some random Japanese streamer following a hype train to see and jumped in and get them out. What level hype train was it that you got that? Just out of like one wonder. Wished. American Oregon had a hype train locked at Mo there. Well, people in the chat here got that. Most people in the chat here got that purple one from the level 11 we got. Toxic masculinity or something, right? Cheers, chat, cheers. Dude. Wonder if there's free candy under this bridge. Jump in and find out, missus. There's action figures. Man. Prepare to melt. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the name, but can anybody remember the name of that? know exactly the show you're talking about though. No, we're drinking the weekend day every time with the view. You just have to find something to replace that craving with. Well, I for one approve of something in. Brian says, the taxi lady, thanks for the ride. You wouldn't make that dirty. Scuba Steve or something was another. No, Scuba Steve was fucking Big Daddy. Scuba Steve was part of the Big Daddy movie, right? That was on Adult Swim, but I can't remember the actual name of the show. Chat, somebody in the chat has to know what he's talking about. Meltman. Did you know, speaking of that as well, do you know Space Ghost Coast to Coast? You know that the voice actor for Space Ghost actually died there recently. No idea. It was definitely one of the Adult Swim ones, but can't remember the name of it. What was the name of the show on Adult Swim as well with the... So there was like... it was just like a cup and the fries and meathead or meatball, remember? It's called Stinky Diver or Stinky Diver, yeah. Carrying a heavy load backpacker gear, which we watch Bargo hump all the time. As long as we don't start calling it that, we're okay. Action League now, yeah. What was it? There was a mad shows on that Adult Show back in the day, or Adult Swim back in the day. One of the best parts of Adult Swim were literally the ads. It's that fucking crazy ads and the skits and stuff. No, you don't want this guy at that. Maybe you have to say that's called, but you don't even remember in a week. How much high five? Very nice. Wow, wee, man. Meow, 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 no, no, no. Let's go Humpert. The flashy, super struggling, super naked. Yeah, I remember all that now. Space Ghost Coast to Coast used to be that league as well, like where they'd have on the celebrities like, and they'd literally just be taking the piss out of them, like, or just like it was like the worst interview they'd ever have in their whole life. So, and them the most random thing, or like Beavis and Butthead, like you wouldn't even get right. I know they did more recent series of Beavis and Butthead, right? But it was shit, like, right? I was saying even earlier, the old South Park episodes like were way more extreme than the new ones, I think. Charlie actually left the stream. What did you say? As I said, it just proved me point. He's a sensitive little pussy like that can't take any kind of fucking criticism. He's still there. I take what I said back then. Sorry, Charlie. I thought you'd actually left again. And Charlie, to be honest with you, I'm glad to see you back. Do you know what I mean? I'm glad to see you back. I am glad to see you back, but it did annoy me that you left. If you wanted me to be honest with you. But what am I supposed to say? You just keep calling me a pussy? I haven't. I said it twice. I've said it fucking twice. I've said more than that as well. He didn't respond to that either. That's not up to me to tell you what you're supposed to say. You asked me what I thought, like, and I gave you what I thought. It annoyed me that you left over something so stupid and me correcting you in the chat and not telling you not to shit on other people in the chat. And you literally left for 3 months. And then you disappear back in chat and don't say nothing about it. Do you know what I mean? Is that not a bit strange? Like, from somebody that, as I said, used to be here every day in the chat, to be a big supporter of the channel, used to enjoy the streams, and it just disappeared. Like, you expect me to just say nothing about it as well? I don't know. Yeah, as I said, I'm glad to see you back, Charlie, and you decided to come back to us, but it was just a bit strange, like, somebody that's been here like 2-3 years to just leave over something so silly, like. Like, you're always welcome here, like, you know what I mean? You've been one of the big supporters here of the channel over the last few years. And you're usually always good in chat and you never cause any shit, but like, over a few months there I noticed that you started to be way more abrasive with people and me than you usually be. And I just thought like it was time to just correct that. And you took that as I don't want you around anymore, but it was never that. And that's what made me more annoyed than anything, that you just left and said nothing. I thought like I actually was like one of your friends, or like you considered me like a friend or something, but like you just left like that and it just kind of annoyed me, to be honest with you. If you want my honest opinion of it. But there's always love for you here, Charlie, and you're always welcome here. I was disappointed when you left, not even annoyed, I was disappointed, like I was like, for fuck's sake, Charlie's after leaving us, like, you know what I mean? Not gonna lie, I suppose Charlie was still VIP. Yeah, because you unfollowed and everything, right? Didn't you unfollow Charlie? Sorry, this is what I was trying to avoid, everybody putting their own 2 cents. Didn't unfollow, you sure? Well, if you didn't want it to be this way, you could have DM'd me, you know what I mean? You could have DM'd me. You just came in, as I said, without saying nothing about it. So, like, I'm not trying to, like, shit on you here, and I'm just being honest with you. I thought that's what you were looking for. I'm sorry if you feel like you're being attacked here or anything, but you're not, like. As I said, I'm glad to see you back, and I hope you're going to stay back with us now. And I hope you don't leave again over something so silly, like if you had a problem with it, you should have just came to me in DMs or something and just said it to me, you know? And we would have sorted it out. You've been with us a long time, and you mean a lot to us here in the community, so it was just, as I said, fucking disappointing to see you just leave like that. Yeah, let's, like, you know what I mean? As I said, welcome back, Charlie, and that's resolved now, so let's have no more about it, and let's just get back to things. Yeah, good to have you back. Because if I didn't say it to you, it was just going to keep nagging me as well, so it's out of the way now, and you can take it whatever way you want. You can leave, you can stay, like as I said, you're always welcome here, but there's what I thought of it. Has Charlie even meet Frankie? I don't know, probably not. Have you met Frankie? Maybe, but he'll be back a little while now. We should have brought Frankie on the trip as well. I fucking forgot to put him in the bag when I was going. I know exactly where he is in the bedroom at home. Charlie came back. There was a Charlie monkey up with in the ears. They were found. Fish eyes coming. Huh? Oh. Swallow it past it too. Okay. Glow, did it? Is fish eyes reflective? I don't know if they are. They go to that side. I don't think we're going to be streaming very long at all tomorrow now, staying up this way. Said the monkey wasn't found, but maybe have it until he's back with nature. No, he's dead. Monkey is dead. He didn't survive in Ireland anyway. I'm sorry to dash your hopes, Mr. No, the monkey's dead. Monkey, yeah. Monkey. That's the first I've heard of it as well. What did I miss? What Dr. Shenanigans I said? The little monkey. It was the little monkey. Yeah, he's like the first cold night he was dead. Even if he survived that long. That stole a penguin from the zoo or that. Alright, yeah. Really are night owl. Is it really forward now, yeah? And for Vex's sake. Well, what time is sunrise at? Will we stay up for sunrise and just not go live tomorrow? Took a monkey to Ireland, yeah, it was from a sanctuary, like. And visit him, I think it's still open. But that reminds me, you have to do the raptor sanctuary as well, in Waterford. Did you hear the bells on the church? Raptor? Yeah. Like eagles and shit. Eagles and hawks and shit. 5:09. Another hour. Wow, 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 meow, meow, meow. You can already see the sky starting to brighten up. What time is your taxi tomorrow? Straight into the airport. Like fucking after 12 at night. Like. I want to go in and do a little bit of shopping in town as well tomorrow. Have the whole day, yeah. $5.09. And take the day off and streaming to shop. The plan was to get up around here or something tomorrow, and then go into town for a few hours. Look at this mess, yeah. I have to tidy up everything here as well. Back me bags and shit. Yeah, maybe I'll just go to bed actually because I worked on second thought and just get up maybe around 12 or 1 tomorrow and go away for a few hours around here and go to town for a few hours by myself because all the shops, like I was seeing as we were walking around, on the stream tomorrow. Well, obviously it's up to me, I have to press the button, right? But I think we'd be best off doing like even 2 or 3 hours around here tomorrow. And then just go to town for a while by myself and just get a few things shopped and then come back here and pack up all my stuff and maybe try to get a few hours sleep and get the taxi out to the airport. Dip in the pool again, maybe the pool, the river. It's actually up to me, is it up to you? Are you telepathically tell this to go live every day here. Enjoy your last day. Thanks. In what way? Enjoying my last day of probably sleeping all day tomorrow. I give you permission, okay, thanks. Thanks. I'm actually half asleep now after that. If one of the mods wants to maybe set up a raid before I fall asleep there, I'll go get a shower and get myself some sleep. I'll go live for a few hours tomorrow. So anybody on the long stream streaks chat, if you missed the short stream tomorrow, don't blame me. Smooth Stone especially. I'm sure you'll be here. Can't wait to argue with you in person. Oh, it'll be great fun, alright? I'm sure chat will love that. Nobody sorted that shit out, is he? Honestly, nobody created. Right, nice one, chat. We'll see you all tomorrow for our last few hours here. I hope you all enjoyed the week here, and we'll see you later. Good night, everybody. I'm gonna go unconscious. Is that here, chat? Thanks for joining us today. Bye bye. Good night. Good night, everybody. See you later. If I can end it now. Good night, everybody. Love you all. See you later.